guys, just a quick clarification. I didn't say Campbelltown store about the Spanian cutting the ribbon and it didn't open. I said the Newtown store didn't open. There's a difference. Yeah? I said the Newtown shop didn't open. Some sort of compliance issue. I didn't say Campbelltown didn't open. There's a difference. That footage of him potentially cutting the ribbon at the front of the Newtown store. And then the next day, opening the Campbelltown store, almost the same scenario, ribbon cutting and people coming through. So like, I don't know what's happening there. But I know as a fact, up to just now, that the Newtown shop hasn't opened and it hasn't passed compliance. Nothing to do with Campbelltown. Yeah? I can also tell you this, that everything he does is, let me just put it to you this way. Theoretically speaking, alright, theoretically speaking, you can look like a big time poker player and then you're making winnings by putting big bets, but bluffing your way through. And no one's really going to know. So in other words, what I'm telling you is, this guy could be making a profit or he could be making a massive loss. We can't know. Unless we've got somebody in the ATO, in the tax office, to tell us the information, or if he gives us the full analysis of what he's doing, which he's not going to do. But basically what I'm telling you is, he could be playing a game of poker and holding his cards to his chest and bluffing the fuck out of all of us. Theoretically speaking. And we wouldn't know a fucking thing. Just because he keeps putting big bets down. Yeah? And we wouldn't know. Unless you've got some dude that's going to expose information about him in the ATO. And those guys are the biggest animal motherfuckers out there. They don't want to give no kind of any information because they don't want to get fucked up their ass. Yeah? So in other words, what I'm telling you is, he could be bluffing his way through and we wouldn't know. Or it could be legit. His outlay could be way more than his income. But whatever he's made, he could be making, say, 6 million, but his outlay is 13 million. He could be running a loss for all we know. Yeah? Just because everything on social media says he's like the second or third best kebab shop in comparison to a few others, does it actually mean it's true? It could be all a bluff. Yeah? You see what I'm saying? Just because you get a net figure from what's happening in the what I refer to as the honeymoon period, doesn't mean it's going to be happening all year round. Those figures are going to be happening all year round. Yeah? The honeymoon period is when you open the doors, you're going to get a whole lot of people come through. But what happens 6 months later? We don't know. Why they had a big show up when you open the doors, then what? See what I'm saying? It happens in every business. You open up a shop, you don't have a whole lot of people rocking up just to see what the business is about. That's called the honeymoon period. Simple fact. A lot of people open shops just for that honeymoon period, and then when it dies down, they close the shop and open up somewhere else. Yeah. So it's possible. It's possible that he's making a fucking major loss. He's running backwards. By him keep showing big bets here and there, he could be sitting on the table and making a mad loss too. Or he could be making a gain, we don't know. But either way, what I'm trying to say is, I said about the Newtown store, that wasn't compliant. Nothing to do with the Campbelltown store. So, within itself, it looks like it's a bit of an illusion when you're cutting a tape and saying this is Newtown, when Newtown didn't open and Campbelltown opened, and then cutting the tape again. I'm just saying. It's a big deception. It looks like a deception happening. Maybe maybe these things are happening to try and discredit somebody that's very accurate about things. I'm just saying, potentially. Potentially this is happening. You know what I mean? But I guess we're just gonna find out with time. Time will tell. Time will tell what he's got. You know, like, all these upgrades are happening to the system where you have to prove who you are, digital IDs, this, that. These situations are getting difficult to manipulate YouTube, manipulate Facebook, manipulate Instagram, TikTok. All these things are getting difficult to manipulate. The numbers this way, the numbers that way, it's hard. So let's just kick back and see what happens. But my theory is he's not as popular as what he makes out to be. The numbers suggest one thing, another scenario is happening. Yeah? I read the statistics and the numbers don't match. The numbers just don't match. Simple fact. So, anyway, we'll soon find out. We'll soon find out. Even if you run a loss for X amount of time, there's only so much you can run a loss before things hit the fan. So, we don't know. We could be running a loss, or we could be running a gain. It's a bit fucking hard. It's a bit hard for me to believe, but somebody's making like 1,000 kebab sales every day from a truck. Because that's basically what it's going to have. Basically the numbers to match. About 1,000 kebabs every day. All year round. Something like that. Roughly. For his numbers to be correct. Something like that. I can run the statistics again to be accurate, but it's something like that. Yeah? For him to be in the position where he's at. 1,000 kebabs a day. Roughly, something like that. Call it 500 kebabs a day. Each truck. For his numbers to match. That's a bit hard for me to fathom. You know what, to tell you the truth, it's a bit hard for me to fathom a truck is selling more than 200 kebabs every day. Or even 100 on the regular, all day, all year round. How many fucking kebab shops do you know that sell 200 fucking kebabs in one fucking day? Let's be honest. Alright guys, have a good one.